Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing on testing. So I have my student. So he will also. I have a couple of students. They will be asking some questions. It is like a one-to-one conversation, and he will be asking some questions to me, and I will be explaining the same. I will be answering him. So today we want this channel we have created. Basically to cover all the automation testing concepts. As you may be aware, in every kind of testing, uh, every field needs testing. For example, in restaurant when we eat, that is also customer will come and test. Likewise, if you go to any shop, you buy a product. When we take the product, it is we test that one. So apart from software, wherever we go, everywhere there is a specific kind of testing. Likewise, in software also, we have testing like manual and automation, but this testing is a little bit different compared to other product testing. So, uh, mm, currently manual testing is nothing but I think there will be so many videos on manual testing. We are not going into that. Today we are starting on automation testing. So whatever testing manually a person does, right? Manual tester does, those will be automated through scripts. Okay. So through this channel, we will be mostly covering automation testing, the frameworks and the tools, whatever we use to automate our test cases, right? So those things we'll try to cover. So students, you have any questions?
Yeah. So, how automation testing will help in the real world?
Yeah, that's very good question. So for example, you have a project, okay, and you need to complete your quarterly. You will be having quarterly release or yearly release. In that, if you do manually, right, if your project is for 3 months and you need to test it, so you need many people to do testing, right? So you need to hire more people, or um, to cover all the test cases, you need to extend the hours, right? So if you have automation scripts, right, what we can do is if there are one flow with different data combinations, if you want to test it, just if you automate one flow, other things the script will take care. Okay, and this automation testing, it will be very helpful when you are doing regression test. For example, in release one, right, some 10 functionalities are been there out in production. So mm in in your next release, if you want to ensure that your earlier functionalities are been working fine or not, if you have scripts, you can just run it. Else again, if you have taken 10 hours or 100 hours of manual effort, same amount of effort, right? You need to invest in your every release, right? So that is how automation testing will play a very vital role.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So so coming to our let us start. We have put some slides. We'll be covering today some what is automation framework and which kind of framework we have in our subsequent classes, right? We will be going with each type of framework, and we will show some scripts each like end to end, they will be explaining you guys. So automation test framework. So couple of points you should be aware of. The first one is test framework. What is test framework? Everyone thinks that framework is something, it is it is kind of a tool or something, but it is not a tool. It is like a setup. Okay, so each even Apple, Google, whatever they do, they have one kind of setup. Based on setup only, we need to work. So in test framework also, we will be putting one framework. For example, data from data where it should be located in one place for the script to go and pull the data. Likewise, your code you need to maintain in one side, and your result logs whenever it is generated, right? Even you need to keep that one. It is like organized. It should be very organized. Then only the framework will work very nice, and you even if you want to fix anything and all, it will be very easy. So testing framework is a set of guidelines or rules used for creating and designing test cases. Test cases or test scripts. What we do is test cases will convert them into scripts. Okay. So in our subsequent classes, you will be learning more on that. The second point is a framework is composed of a combination of practices and tools that are designed to help QA professionals test more efficiently. So what this point says is we need there are many tools in the market. Earlier, 10-15 years back, we had like only few tools were there, like Windrunner, QTP, that is Quick Test Professional from Mercury. Then, the demand for this kind of tools started, started everywhere. And the other part to come on this new tools was the cost of this QTP and Windrunner was very high. For example, for one license, they would charge $50,000 or something like that. There was a lot of competition. So nowadays we have open source tools which are totally free. Uh, Earlier, even the software companies, they would not go for automation tools. Our client would not go for automation tools because of this cost involved in that one. But nowadays, since open source tools are there, right? So since it is free, people want to automate more and more, and they want to reduce the manual effort. Okay? So
Yeah.
we'll be discussing more on that. So students, you have any questions?
Okay. So how automation? So what kind of frameworks usually in the software companies using nowadays?
Okay. Yeah, good questions. Nowadays, mainly it will be a keyword-driven or a data-driven framework. So as I said earlier, right? For example, if you want, there is one application with some different user ID and passwords. Okay, so if you want to manually go and insert, right? So it is a time consuming process. For that one, through data, we'll maintain all the user IDs. So just I'm giving an example. All data will be in one data sheets, and from there, automatically scripts will take the data and it will inject in the applications, or it may be UI and scripts will be coded and it will be tested in that fashion. So mostly to answer your question, mostly it is data driven or keyword driven. Those are very famous in market as of now.
Thank you.
Okay. So, the third point we want to discuss is test automation framework is not a tool to perform some specific task, but is an infrastructure that provides a solution where different tools can plug itself and do their job in an unified manner. So this is what I was telling in my point one. Just a framework is nothing, but it is not a tool or something. This is all the setups. Every whatever work, any work style, right? We need to have one framework. So in the same way, in test automation also, with the help of this kind of automation tools, we will establish a framework. That is what this third point is talking about. And in addition to that, framework, we have a lot of plugins and all. For example, if you go for some Selenium framework and all, there will be a lot of plugins. For example, you want to communicate with the Chrome driver or Firefox and all, directly it will not interact. So those will act like a prerequisite for your framework. We need to just establish connection between these applications through plugins, and that is how it will start communicating. They will talk to each other, and that is how your framework will be. It will be full. Okay. Then the fourth point is automation. Automation testing mainly supplements manual testing and makes the whole testing process more efficient. So here, what we are trying to say is more and more manual work, right? It will just get compressed when we have our automation scripts. In my first example, I said in your first release, if the manual effort is around 20-30 hours, in your second release, it will get reduced to around 1 or 2 hours through the scripts. And when I say 1 to 2 hours, it is like when the application changes, right? Even some part of coding will be there, maintenance work will be there. So we need to just fine tune our scripts and all, and you need to work. But compared to earlier effort, right? The subsequent effort will be very very less. Okay, so it is like automation will give you results in your long run. If your project is only for 3 months and afterwards you are never seeing that application, we don't need automation for that one. But if your project has a scope for 1-2 years or more than that, right? Then that application is automation candidate. All right. Uh, okay. So now we will come to our next slide. It is we just want to know some benefits of automation. Okay, I have discussed more in my first slide, but some more like through pointer level we will go. What exactly automation? What benefits it gives a company or for the testers. The first pointer is improved test efficiency. So test efficiency will it will be increased. For example, if a tester is busy with only manual work, he will not be able to focus on other parts of the applications. If automation is taking care of all those regression and some other testing, right? Then manual tester can go beyond whatever was in the scope, right? He can test thoroughly, and he can make the application more robust and test very accurately. So the accuracy of testing team member will be very good if we implement automation in automation. So that is what we are saying, improve test efficiency. The second point is lower maintenance cost. So lower maintenance cost, as I said, it will come when these are released. In first release only, it will not give benefits. For example, for automation also, we need to hire professionals for good in automation testing and all. So their rates will be little higher compared to manual testing team member. But once once you have your automation scripts and all, then the cost will reduce. For example, manual tester, right? If you hire 10 manual tester in your first project, it may cost you some per resource some $50,000, means $500,000 you will invest in manual tester. Okay, but in your subsequent, if you have automation testers, right? Then you need not need those many automation testers. Instead of 10 resources, you can have 3 to 4 resources. That is fine. Okay. So subsequently, your the cost of resource hiring will be less, and that will benefit the project. Uh, third point is minimal manual intervention. So this is a very good point. For example, manual testing, there may be some human errors. For example, sometimes it may not be, the fields may not be visible in the UI screen, or sometimes under pressure, testers may think something and he may miss a lot of issues. There are so many scenarios in the real project where some human errors, due to human errors only, defects will be leaked. However, if we have automation testing, right, then this kind of issues will not come. Manual intervention will be less over there. Okay, and there are so many things. For example, even your bad jobs and all, if you are testing in a bad job mode, or if there are 2 3 applications, after finishing one application, that will act like an input to the second application. If your flow is in that fashion, right? A manual tester will be waiting for first job to complete. Then after some time, after complete, he will kick out the second job. Right, then he'll be working 24 by bar 7 with different team members. This kind of the applications are automable candidates. So if we automate this kind of 3 4 independent jobs, then we can get rid of this manual intervention, and script will take care on the testing. Another real example I just want to add is um, script executions, right? Script executions, just currently we have something called as Jenkins jobs. So if you do a schedule, right, automatically on that day, at that time, the script will start executing by its own. Nobody needs to remind it. And next, it will publish the results in the email, and the testers should just go and check the logs whether everything are passed or failed. If it is failing, he will take action. If it is pass, it's good. So this kind of manual, otherwise, if each time manual tester should be reminded that he need to do regression, he need to do smoke, all these kind of manual interventions are there, right? So that can be avoided through automation. Um, and the fourth point is maximum test coverage. So yeah, this is also a very good point. As I said, because uh, tester gets time to cover more and more, right? Because a lot of things will be automated. That is one point. Second is, for example, application has a million records. If you hire 10 20 testers also, within a month they can't test around 20 30,000 records also, people will not be able to test. If we have automation scripts, right, even all the million records can be tested, right? This is the beauty of automation. So we are seeing maximum test coverage. Um, the fifth point is reusability of code. So whatever we have automated, right? So for example, all the code will not be absurd in your next releases. 80% or 90% code will be good. Only 10-20% there may be some application changes which we need to do it, and we need to make the script good. So whatever code is being written, right, it will be maximum. It will be reused. When application is not drastically changing, if everything gets changed right in the application, then our code, but also our code is not everything upset. The functions, whatever we have written, or the framework, whatever like data sheets, data, whatever we have read, we can reuse it. So that is what we are trying to see in the reusability of code. So students, do you have any doubts on these benefits of test
So,
automation?
so is the benefits? Is there any cons for of automation framework? Is like any disadvantage of automation
Yeah,
framework? Like in it, some things cannot be automated. Like anything exists with the automation
yeah,
framework.
yeah, see, there is nothing called as nothing can be, nothing, everything can be automated, okay? But there will be some scenarios where, where it is like a one-time activity will be there. Again, we don't want to do again, we don't want repetition on that one. Only it will be tied to the specific release, right? So those kind of things we need not automate. Uh, the other thing is it also needs a lot of effort for automation. Okay, so we need to consider that effort also during our test estimation, right? And we need to hire very skilled people for automation. This automation is also nothing but is a kind of development only. If we are not coding properly, and if we are making our scripts more complicated, then for example, one person does all this automation scripting, and after 2 months he leaves the organization. At that time, if he has coded in a very complicated manner, right,
Hmm.
then he entire whatever he has worked, it will be a rework. Okay, so there should be a check by the leads that we keep our code framework, that everything organized. Okay, then it will not lead to rework and rework. That is one kind of disadvantage I can see.
And any data validation kind of things, only APIs it will be used, or any data validation it can be the framework we can set up automation framework only for APIs, or we can do framework automation for data validations also, data testing, you can say.
Yeah. See, everything, mostly we can automate. We have framework for UI automation can be done, APIs can be done, database connections also we can establish, and databases also we can do. Even like SAP, I have heard like in SAP kind of applications we can do. ETL testing we can do. So the it is endless. Okay, we can do, but we need to get the proper coding for that, and
what
proper
uh, what
yeah.
skills required for this automation testing?
So we have couple of tools, right? Like currently open source tools are like Selenium, and in Selenium we have BTD framework like Cucumber related framework, which are all free. Free, you can just install those things.
Like
Mainly,
Java coding technologies, anything is required?
yes, 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 yes. You need a Java. Java, it is not like full-fledged Java knowledge should be there, but at least, some 20-30% of Java coding knowledge you should be having.
Thank you.
Yeah. Plus, if the thing is, the loop, if one language you are perfect, earlier VB scripting was there, right? If you are good in VB scripting, then you can brush up some skills on your coding skills, and you can migrate to Java. So yeah. So in next slide, we are covering on testing automation framework. Okay, this is what is bread and butter here. Now we'll be going through what kind of framework exists in the market. The first one is linear automation framework. We'll be discussing in detail on this each type of framework in our subsequent videos, which will be which in upcoming days you can view those videos. Second is modular-based testing framework. Third is library architectural testing framework. Fourth one is data-driven framework. Fifth one is keyword-driven framework. So these are important kind of framework which exist in market. In that one, fourth and fifth are like majority of company they go for a data-driven framework or a keyword-driven framework. Okay, they are very very important. However, now there is one more framework called a hybrid testing framework, which is a combination of both data and keyword-driven. So mostly last 4, 5, and 6. These are the three types of framework which in current days, right? Most of companies are going with this one, and there are robust framework which are implemented, and many of projects are they are taking a lot of benefits by implementing this kind of framework. So guys, to go through my slide one more time, if you have any questions, you can comment me. So students, you have any doubts on today's session?
Good, good class. Thank you.
Okay guys, see you then in the next session. Take care. Bye.
Bye.